Group, sir.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Maida Coleman is here.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
I'm back.
Good morning, still Commissioner Kinney.
Is that the ghost
You know,
of
Hi,
Bill Kenny?
Hey, Commissioner
Hey.
Kenny. All that trouble
Yes,
you
ma'am.
went through saying all these nice things about you last week, and it was for nothing.
I know. Why do you think I'm back? I kind of like that. And I thought maybe we could do that today.
It was a
Make
waste
Commissioner
of our
Kenny feel
time.
good day. Just tell
Holtzman's
all-
here.
Good morning, Commissioner.
I just kind of want to hear all that stuff again.
Maybe
We were
next week.
making that up anyway.
All right. Well, it is 10:15 and all commissioners are in attendance. Welcome back, Commissioner Kinney, who we all expected
Thank
to
you, Mr.
depart
Chairman.
us last week, but as all of us are well familiar with, the Senate is going to be the Senate. So we have Commissioner Kinney for a while longer. All right. Due to the COVID-19 crisis, we will continue conducting our agendas via WebEx for the foreseeable future. So I ask those participating on the call, please mute your phone unless you need to speak. We will be withdrawing 3 items from today's orders. Order number 4, which is file number GT 2021-0073. Order number 8, which is file number TA 2021-0198. And file number 9, which is file number DA 2021-0205. So that leaves us with 10 remaining tariffs and new orders. First order of business is to approve the minutes from April 21st agenda. You all have seen those. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from April 21st, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those minutes are approved 5-0. First tariff and new order today, file number GW 2021-0355. This is in the matter of the establishment of a workshop for the development of statewide best practices for locating quality assurance. So staff has requested a working docket to be opened to gather comments and suggestions from stakeholders on ways to reduce gas pipeline damage through location practices. This is a safety concern that will hopefully lead to a summary of best practices, which can then be shared with natural gas pipeline operators and made available to the public. Staff would like to conduct a virtual workshop with stakeholders on June 17th. So I support this order, opening the docket and providing notice. Version 1, Commissioner Kinney.
I'm in support of the order as well.
Thank you. Commissioner Roop,
I'm in support as well.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted, version 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number CA 2021-0282. This is in the matter of the application of Fidelity Cablevision LLC, DBA Fidelity Communications, to amend and expand its designation as an eligible telecommunications carrier in the state of Missouri to receive Rural Digital Opportunity Fund Auction 904 support for voice broadband services and to receive federal Lifeline and state Lifeline support. Fidelity Communications is looking to expand its ETC designation due to its award of Federal Rural Digital Opportunity Fund. The company submitted the census blocks that it's seeking to expand and the designation where the company would use the federal funds to expand broadband facilities. Fidelity is also seeking an ETC designation for purposes of federal and state Lifeline support in other areas of the state. No requests to intervene were received. Staff has reviewed the request and submitted a recommendation. And they recommend that the request be granted, including for the federal low income and universal service fund support areas. So I think the company has met all the requirements, and I support the order granting the designation version 2. Commissioner Kinney,
I am in support of the order.
Commissioner Roop,
I am in support as well.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 2, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number WO 2021-0252. This is in the matter of the application of the City of Union, Missouri and Public Water Supply District number 1 of Franklin County, Missouri for approval of a third amendment to territorial agreement concerning territory in Franklin County. This is a report and order approving the third amendment to the territorial agreement between the Public Water Supply District number 1 in Franklin County in the City of Union. The initial territorial agreement was approved by the Commission back in 2003. In February of this year, the applications requested approval of a third amendment. Notice was provided and no requests to intervene were received. No existing customers will be impacted by the agreement since the area to be transferred is as yet undeveloped. So to avoid the district incurring costs to install new facilities, the transfer would allow the city to use existing water facilities to serve the transferred area. Staff submitted a recommendation to approve the third amendment, which will transfer property from the district. No party requested a hearing. I think the agreement is reasonable, and I support the report and order version 1. Commissioner Kinney,
I will support the order.
Commissioner Roop,
I am supporting as well.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. As mentioned, number 4, file number GT 2021-0073 has been pulled. That takes us to number 5, file number EE 2021-0180. This is in the matter of the application of Checkmate Design for a variance of commission rules. In December, the applicant submitted a request for a variance from the commission's regulations concerning individual meters for residential buildings. The building at issue will have 2 commercial and 60 residential units. Ameren Missouri is the electric provider for the area and has opposed the variance request. Under the Commission's rules, the variance committee reviewed the request and submitted a written recommendation. The committee reported that the request did not meet the exceptions allowed by the Commission's rules. The committee pointed out that each individual unit will have the ability to control their thermostat and energy usage, and considered the long-term benefits of electric consumers having separate meters would exceed the additional cost of installing the separate meters. Separate meters would also allow each resident to participate in Ameren's time of use rates. I agree with the findings of the variance committee and don't think that the applicants have met the eligibility requirements for a variance. So I support the order denying the variance request version 2. Commissioner Kenny.
I'm going to support the order, but I do have a comment and a question. During my 8 years, 3 months, and 19 days and counting on the Public Service Commission, I have never heard of this committee. So my question is, who are they? And is their only objective to determine whether or not a variance is granted?
That is a good question. Judge Woodruff, is someone on that can maybe answer this question?
This is Judge DePel.
Okay.
I can answer your question, Commissioner. The committee is set up by rule, and it consists of one attorney from staff and one operations person from staff, as well as an ex officio member from public counsel. The committee is set up by rule and is charged under the rule with, yes, basically determining, reporting, investigating these requests for variances from the individual metering rule. The last
Well, I
time we
appreciate
had one
that.
of these cases was in 2005, I think.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
Well, you answered my question, then my memory is still good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I support the order.
All right. Commissioner Root,
Support the order as well.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 2 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number EF 2021-0176. This is in the matter of the application of Union Electric Company, DBA Ameren, Missouri, for an order authorizing the issue and sale of additional long-term indebtedness. Ameren is seeking authority to issue up to $650 million in long-term debt and is requesting expedited treatment. The company intends to use the funds for capital expenditures and to refinance short-term debt. Staff met with Ameren to discuss the impacts and the potential needs to charge fees for debt over a certain amount for the short-term debt. The company then amended their application to clarify that most of the requested indebtedness would be used to refinance short-term debt, which won't require a fee, and that any remaining funds would be used to fund near-term capital expenditures. Staff recommended that the amended application be approved. No other responses were received. So I think that the company will be using the financing for authorized purposes, and I support the order granting the amended application subject to those conditions. And this is version 2. Commissioner Kenny.
I support the order.
Commissioner Root.
I support the order as well.
Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
And Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order's drafted version 2 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number DA 2021-0292. This is in the matter of the application of Connect LLC to expand its eligible telecommunications carrier designation to participate in the Missouri Universal Service Fund and receive MOUSF subsidies. The applicant has requested ETC designation to be eligible for MOUSF subsidies, including Lifeline and the disabled programs. Notice was issued and no party intervened. Staff reviewed the request and after conducting an investigation, recommended that the request be approved for the requested census blocks. I think the company meets the eligibility requirements and I support the order granting their ETC designation version 1. Commissioner Kenny?
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Roop?
As am I.
Commissioner Coleman?
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman?
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order That order is now approved 5-0. As mentioned, file number TA 2021-0198 has been pulled, as well as file number DA 2021-0205. That leaves us with next up file number DA 2021-0307. This is in the matter of the application of AirLink Rural Broadband LLC for expanded designation as an eligible telecommunications carrier pursuant to Section 214 Sub E Sub 2 of the Communications Act of 1934 as amended. AirLink Rural Broadband requested an expansion of its ETC designation since it was awarded Rural Digital Opportunity Funds to build broadband facilities in rural areas. Notice was issued. No requests to intervene were received. Staff performed an investigation and recommends that the expanded ETC request be granted. I think the company meets the requirements, and I support their order granting their designation version 2. Commissioner Kinney.
I support the order.
Commissioner Roop.
As do I.
Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
And Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 2 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number DA 2021-0294. This is in the matter of the application of PD Fiber LLC for designation as an eligible telecommunications carrier pursuant to Section 214 Sub E Sub 2 of the Communications Act of 1934 as amended. Similar to the prior order, PD Fiber LLC is wanting to expand their ETC designation. The company wants to receive MOUSF subsidies for Lifeline and disabled programs. Notice was given. No requests to intervene were received. Staff reviewed the request and recommend that it be granted for the census blocks identified. This order grants their designation for the Missouri Universal Service Fund purposes, and I support the order version 1. Commissioner Kinney.
I am in support.
Commissioner Roop.
I am supporting.
Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
And Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye.
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 That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number WC 2020-0181. This is Linda Beecham, complainant, v. Missouri American Water Company, respondent. The commission previously conducted an evidentiary hearing and issued a report and order on this complaint. This is an amended report and order to clarify some of the points. I support this amended report and order version 1. Commissioner Kinney.
I am in support.
Commissioner Roop.
I am supporting.
Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
And Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. And final today, file number WR 2021-0177. This is in the matter of Carl Richard Mills' request to maintain water systems rate. In December, Mr. Mills submitted a letter requesting a staff-assisted rate case. Consistent with our rules, staff filed a timeline for the case. A few weeks ago, Mr. Mills filed a notice that he is requesting to gift the water system to a homeowners association or other commission-approved organization. An intervener filed a motion to suspend the rate case to allow Mr. Mills time to file an application to transfer the system. Staff responded that it thinks the rate case should proceed. I agree with staff and don't think that sufficient reason has been given to delay the rate case process. So I support this order denying Mr. Morgan's motion to suspend the rate case process. The order also directs Mr. Mills to file a statement clarifying if his April 6th filing should be considered an actual application to transfer the system. And this is version 2. Commissioner Kinney.
I support the order.
Commissioner Roop.
I do as well.
Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
And Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 2 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. That concludes reports and orders. We have one brief case discussion today on case WC 021-0129. This is Judge Jacobs. Judge?
Good morning. Hello.
Yep.
Good morning, everyone. This case is, as the chairman just advised, WC 2021-0129. It's a consumer's complaint against Missouri American Water Company. It's scheduled to go to hearing Tuesday, May 4th at 9:15 a.m. by telephone and video conference by WebEx. The parties have been directed to sign on at 8:15 so that we can verify that all witnesses and counsel will be able to connect to WebEx and hopefully get the hearing started promptly. We are expecting to hear from 8 witnesses, and there is no pre-filed testimony, which is typical in this kind of case. If you have any questions about the case, please let me know. Thank you.
All right, are there any questions for Judge Jacobs at this time? Hearing none, thank you, Judge. We do have one closed item today that we will get to after scheduling. So let's do scheduling next. All right, Tuesday, May 4th, we have an evidentiary hearing in WC 2021-0129. That's Harris v. Missouri American Water via WebEx 9:15. Judge Jacobs, as we just heard. Wednesday, May 5th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Friday is state holiday, Truman Day, Friday, May 7th. Wednesday, May 12th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Wednesday, May 19th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Friday, May 21st, evidentiary hearing in WC 2020-0407. That's Claude Scott, complainant via Missouri American Water Company. That will be via WebEx at 9:15 a.m. with Judge Jacobs. And Wednesday, May 26th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. That gets us out through the end of May. Any comments, questions, or requests regarding scheduling through the end of May? Okay, hearing none. We do need to go into closed session under section 610.021 sub 3 and or sub 13 RISMO. Upon the conclusion of that closed session, we will adjourn for the day. So I will make a motion to go into closed session under section 610.021 sub 3 and or sub 13. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That motion is approved 5-0. We will convene commissioners for closed session and adjourn immediately upon conclusion of that. Thank you, everyone. See you in a minute.